सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. The five elements of Teja are Nidra, sleep. Trisha would be thirst. Kshuda is hunger. Kanti and Alasya. Alasya is laziness. Nidra. In Teja, a part of Akasha is merged and body is imperceptibly void in sleep. Just as Akasha, this is the part of Akasha. The part of Akasha is the emptiness, and Tej is the Agni, is the part which is going to conjoin with the Akasha to cause sleep. Now it might seem very odd that fire is bringing sleep. But fire again has many properties to it. Like in Ayurveda we say that there are 5 fires in your body. You have fire in the brain which makes you think. See, Sadhak Pitta. We have fire in the eyes, Alochak Pitta. We have fire in the abdomen to digest. We have fire in the skin, which gives the color, complexion and luster to the skin. Now, if Sadhak Pitta gets vitiated, disturbed, rises actually, that will be cause of brain hemorrhage. That can be cause of mental illness. But if Sadhak Pitta is balanced, then that will give, while person is awake, very good ability to think, perceive. And this very Sadhak Pitta will give a nice, good sleep also. If this gets vitiated, will be causing disturbance, hence there will be mental aggravation, agitation, restlessness. So person definitely cannot sleep. So actually the Vedanta Sutras can be only well understood if you have understanding of Ayurveda. It's very important, because wherever the relationship of body and mind will be there, then the functioning of the mind and the body is going to happen. So if you do not understand the mechanisms with which it is happening, you will not able to comprehend that how can Teja, fire, be a reason of sleep. Right? So there is a whole detail about it, that if the fire in your stomach gets agitated, what happens? If the fire gets agitated in your eyes, then what gets? So if it is more, it can burn out. Like the optical nerve neurosis, the neuritis of the optical nerve, person goes blind. It's Alochak Pitta. But when that is very nicely settled, then person will have very good vision. So all those people who are wearing the glasses, actually the fire in their eyes has gone down. Reason can be phlegm, reason can be many, but when the fire is reduced, same goes when the fire is lesser in the stomach region, then the person will have mandagni, that is no hunger. But because of bad habits and the urges, person will eat, hence the person will have severe cases of indigestion, and which will lead to gastritis or will lead to constipation or flatulence and so on and so forth. So nidra, when the sleep comes, then the body is imperceptibly void, meaning as if the body isn't there, as if the body has gone inside out into kind of an emptiness, and the one part of the fire into it, in the akasha, gives the sleep. Kshuddha means hunger. On feeling hungry, eaten food is digested, reduced to a residue, just as a fire burns everything into a residue of ash. This is the main part of Teja. Teja's main element, the major part, the half which it keeps with itself, is the Kshuddha. So that's why we have these idioms that there is a fire in my belly, meaning that I'm hungry. I am hungry. Kanti, in Teja, part of Jala is merged, radiance reduces upon exposure to sun. Just as water dissipates on being exposed to the sun, thus this is part of the Jala. Now Kanti, all the men or women, when they have their skin discoloration happening, or blemishes coming, or pigmentation issues coming, this is all because of the fire in the skin. The fire, if we go with the Ayurvedic perspective, then it says that there is too much of fire. The Brajak Pitta has gone vitiated. And if we see what will happen when there is too much fire, the water content of that particular place will evaporate. So the Jala part, the water part, and Teja, this in together, now Jal and Agni, they are merging together. Obviously, you remember this, they are obviously as such opponent to one another, but in body they are coexisting. So the radiance reduces on the exposure of sun. Now here your so-called allopath dermatologists come, oh, we have found after research and with this and that exposure to sun is bad. Now this scripture is how old? And they are already saying that too much exposure to sun is bad for the skin, because that will dry up your skin and it will burn out your skin. Hence in India, like any other maybe hot country, when the temperature soars very high, people in between 1 to say 5, if you go Rajasthan especially, if you go Gujarat, they all sleep. Nobody is outdoor. Because that's the highest hot, temperatures. So nobody will be out. Everybody will be indoors and drinking their sharbat and this and that and stuff, and will rest, will not go out. This is only affordable by a very rich society. So know that only rich people can afford to do it, and in one way our country was always rich. Hence in Ayurveda scriptures, the summers are said to be, this is the only one time out of all the 6 seasons where you are allowed to sleep in the afternoon. Otherwise in winter, in autumn, spring, in rainy season, they say it's very prohibited to sleep. But summer is the one time when they say you sleep, because the exposure from sun is reduced. So Kanti is the Jala and the Teja. Alasya. In Teja, a part of Prithvi is merged. When one feels lazy, the body becomes lethargic and stiff, and the nature of Prithvi too is stiff. Thus, this is part of Prithvi. Now, what is Prithvi? Solid, grass, unmoving, motionless, grounded, stony. When you see a rock, the rock doesn't move on its own. The rock has to be moved. So similarly, when person has the alasya, meaning the element of the Prithvi, of earth, has made his body so wants to be motionless. So if a person is sleepy, you ask the person to get up, it's very tough. So I have seen people who, the mom was kicking, get up, get up, get up, and still snoring. Why can't he feel the pain? Because the joy of sleep is so much more, that all the yellings of the mother is just on the deaf ears. So the Prithvi's element, the guna of the Prithvi is to be remembered. What is the guna of Prithvi? And then we conjoin it with the Teja, the Agni. Like if say in a open fireplace, like you have this, the angiti, the small earthen pot in which the coal is burnt, and people used to cook over that. So the fire is there. And in old times, once their cooking is done, what would they do? They would pick a handful of ash and just throw it on the flames. What will it do? The embers of the fire flame will just die. What have we done? We have placed something which is heavier than the flame. So the earth, the ash, or even sometimes the jala can be used, the water is also used. They'll sprinkle one handful of water onto that fire and it dies. So we use the ash, Prithvi, heavy, and it can kill the fire. So this happens when there is lesser, the fire plus Prithvi, the fire and plus the earth element together will create idleness in your body, will create lethargy in your body. Now, if say you are very lethargic and there is something you need to do, what do you do? So somehow if you drag yourself up and maybe do few jumping jacks, or maybe do few Surya Namaskara. Now what is Surya? Agni. So now when you raise the bar of the Agni in your body, the alasya will go away. Maybe that's why the mothers used to beat those sleeping children, because beating is fire. And with that fire, their lethargy will go away and they'll get up from the bed. And now the jala will come from the eyes. So they'll end up in the bathroom to get ready and then go to the school to get education. What is education? Education is again a fire. So actually, if we say that human body is having a very large factor of fire happening in the body. To sleep you need fire, to digest you need fire, to have radiance on your skin you need fire, to have good eyesight you need fire, to have good mobility you need fire, to have great flexibility you need fire, and to have a good intelligence you need fire, the sadhak pitta. So fire everywhere. And no wonder that when the body dies, we again put that body into a fire. And that's the best way to give the end to that body. The 5 elements of jala: lar, sved, mutra, shukra, shonita. Now what is lar? Lar is the saliva which is there in your mouth. So jala and part of akasha is merged, and just as saliva moves up and down in the mouth, akasha is also present everywhere, thus it is a part of akasha. Now akasha is the space in which the movement and the tongue obviously and the body is, right? And when the jala, the water, merges with the akasha, that is how the saliva is formed, right? That is how the saliva is formed. Say if you fill your mouth with a dry chaff powder, Would there be any saliva then in the mouth? There won't be any. Why? Because that akasha part is now missing. Sweda. Sweda in jala, part of vayu is merged, and sweda means sweat, and it is the excretion happening after physical work. And well, in summers there is no hard work, but still you will be sweating, as you know it very well with your experience. So even vayu is the result of physical effort, such as fanning. Thus, this is the part of vayu. When you do physical activity, this Veda will come out. But when you do the fanning, the Sveda is gone. So Sveda, the sweat, is born out of that physical execution, physical hard work when you do. And when your single hand uses maybe a newspaper or a hand fan, and when you move your wrist, then it takes away, it dries up the sweat. Mutra, in jala, part of teja is merged. See how nicely you can relate to it, that whenever anybody will have any urine infection, their urine will be burning, will give them burning. And if infection is too much, then the person will feel pain in the lower region of the stomach area. Why? The fire is increasing in the water where it shouldn't have been. So your mutra has the urine has the part of the teja in it. So the warm temperature is one of that sign, and the heat is the basic attribute of tejas. Thus, this is part of teja. Shukra. This is the main part of jala, water. Shukra, or what you call semen, that's the main part of the body. See why, as I said yesterday, it became so important to practice celibacy, because the shukra, the protection of the shukra is very, very important. Remember, your body is born out of shukra. And your body will function with the energies of the shukra. So if somebody is having a depleted shukra levels, that person will not have a very good body, and a person who has a weak shukra will have actually not only very low immunity, but actually that person will become a dumb like an animal. Dumb like an animal. Because it's a very animalistic thing. And that's why the nature has controlled the sexual behavior of animals, so much so that when they have their time, they are in the heat. When the time is gone, put the male female animal together, they are not interested in one another. Now, human beings' mind and body are not controlled by the nature, but by the human brain itself, by its own mind. Hence, the calmness which you see maybe in a cow is not visible in a man. See, this is very interesting. Now, if a human being wishes to be higher than an animal, then they have to have one control in their hand, and that is control of the shukra. What is the level of the shukra of that person? And in old times, in our country especially, the Vaidyas were used to so that they can prescribe what diet or what kind of aphrodisiac ingredients they should take every day, like a supplement for the shukra. And Shilajit and Ashwagandha and Safed Musli are the very, they were very well hidden, but now things are getting opened up, so not a very big thing. And similarly Kesar, the saffron, and Desi ghee. These are considered to be which will help to enhance the shukra. And you know what? In certain section of sadhus, the sadhus are prohibited to take even the ghee. They say this is a very worldly thing. Why do you want to nourish your body so much? So what for? why you need to do that. You see the interrelation in between. What kind of lifestyle you want to live and what kind of mentality you have, so would be. Now if you are a totally rajoguni persona, if you are a totally samsari persona, obviously you want more shukra. What for? To waste it. So that because only in indulgence they get the joy, the happiness, the pleasure, their pleasure is just in one activity only. That is their only one extracurricular activity. That's it. So rich or poor, everybody is very much dragged into it. Now if you say that I have been dragged into it, then surely you are an animal. Because if you had been a human being, then you would have understanding that how it should be used or when to be used, when not to be used, what should be the regimentation, and how you need to protect the shukra. So as it is the main part of jala, shaunita in jala part of prithvi is merged, and blood is red in color, just like the earth exhibits red colored patterns in patches. Thus, this is the part of Prithvi. In many places, the normal earth color is red, and so is our blood, right? So the Shaunita, the blood, is also one part, but it has what in it? The Prithvi in it. Prithvi, what does Prithvi give? Guruta, heaviness. So the blood, in its density and form, is heavier. Why? Because there is a Prithvi element, not fire. Remember that. Not fire, not air. Right? So it is the Prithvi element. The 5 elements of Prithvi: Roma, Tvacha, Nadi, Masa, Asthi. Roma, in a Prithvi, a part of Akasha is merged. Now when I say Roma, this is this small hairs which you have on whole body. It's like void. There's nothing in it. And it experiences no pain. See, now ladies must think that when we do waxing we feel so much pain. But that pain is the pain being caused by you removing the rome from the body. If you don't remove the hair from the skin where they are attached, so the pain is felt in the skin, not in that hair. Roma, it's dead, it's void, it experiences no pain on being cut. Akasha is also void, thus this is the part of Akasha. Tvacha. Tvacha means your skin. In a Prithvi, part of Vayu is merged. Tvacha perceives touch, such as cold, hot, soft, hard. And even Vayu exhibits touch as its attribute. Thus, this is part of Vayu. When your skin touches the ground, then you feel it's hard or soft. If you keep your hand like this and I place, like, say, a remote over here, yes, because you have held a remote some time ago and you have the memory, but to feel it, you need to bring it close to it. Touching. So that is the Prithvi and Vayu. Hand is Prithvi, movement and coming close, and the feeling which, because what happens is when your skin feels something instantaneously, that through the nervous system, the signal goes to the brain, and the brain analyzes and says it is cold or hot or soft or hard. So the Vayu part and the Prithvi, they together are creating, or we should say existing, in our Nadi. Nadi in Prithvi, a part of Teja, is merged. One examines the body temperature through Nadi. Temperature is the major attribute of Teja as it is hot. Thus, this is the part of Prithvi. Nadi. When we say Nadi, we are talking about actually your whole nervous system. So a very good TCM acupuncturist, just by seeing your Nadi over here, can analyze what is wrong in your head, or bladder, or liver, or stomach, or whatnot. Now, what is the physician feeling? The fire and the Prithvi part together are very much evident in your Nadi, in your nervous system. And Nadi also means the flow. So the flow which is happening in the veins and the arteries, that too comes into it, Nadi. Then comes Masa. Mas is yours. The muscles, all the muscles, right? And Mamsa, in Sanskrit we call it Mamsa. In Prithvi, a part of Jala is merged. Muscles have an element of wetness, so does Jala, thus this is part of the Jala. So Prithvi and water, meaning earth and water, or Prithvi and Jala, when they merge together, that is how they are very much evident in the muscles. And I can also say it is very much responsible in making of the muscles also. The making of the muscles. Asthi, this is the main part of the Prithvi. Asthi is hard and yellow in color, just like Prithvi, which is rigid. Asthi is your bones, which is rigid and exhibits yellow color in patches. Thus, this is the main part of Prithvi. Now, question comes is, what is the purpose of knowing the 25 elements? And I want you to remember now all the 25 elements. Give you 2 days and you have to memorize all the 25 elements of the 5 elements. So, this is what is the purpose of knowing the 25. The purpose is, these 25 elements are not me. These 25 elements are not mine. These 25 elements are of the Panchikrita 5 great elements, and I am the observer, knower of these 25 elements, like an onlooker of a clay pot who is distinct from it. Just know it that now in the coming few pages, again and again and again, this one term will be used. Term is like say, this is a glass pot in my hand, but they are talking about a clay pot. So there is a pot of clay which is observed by a person. So I am the observer who is observing this body clay pot. This body too is like a pot made of clay. The glass is also actually coming from the earth only. So clay, pot, and the 25 elements are not me and not mine. How does one ascertain this? Now from 1 to 5 are the elements of Akasha coming. Now maybe all of you should read together and you lead.
Question 48. The 25 elements are not me and not mine. How does one ascertain this? Answer. 1 to 5 in the 5 elements of Akash. First one, Shok. When there is Shok, I am aware of it.
Shok means? Grief. Shok means grief.
When there is absence of Shok, then also I am aware of it. This Shok is not me. This Shok is not mine. This Shok belongs to the element of Akash. I am the observer of this Shok, like an onlooker of the clay pot who is distinct from it. In this manner, know that I am not Shok and it is not mine. Second, Kama. When there is calm, I am aware of it. When there is absence of Kama, then also I am aware of it. This calm is not me. This calm is not mine. This calm belongs to the element of Akash. I am the observer of this Kama.
Kama means desires, okay? Now I want you not only to read it, but you need to assimilate and feel it. that when desire comes in the mind, you know it. When the desire is gone, you know it. So who is observing the karma? It is me, the self, the Atman. Right.
I am the observer of this karma, like an onlooker of the clay pot, who is distinct from it. In this manner, know that I am not calm and is not mine. Third, krodha, anger. When there is krodha, I am aware of it. When there is absence of krodha, then also I am aware of it. This krodha is not me. This krodha is not mine. This krodha belongs to the element of Akash. I am the observer of this krodha, like an onlooker of the clay pot, who is distinct from it. In this manner, know that I am not krodha and it is not mine. Fourth, moha, attachment. When there is moha, I am aware of it. When there is absence of moha, then also I am aware of it. This moha is not me. This moha is not mine. This moha belongs to the element of Akash. I am the observer of this moha, like an onlooker of the clay pot, who is distinct from it. In this manner, know that I am not moha and it is not mine. Fifth, bhai, fear. When there is bhai, I am aware of it. When there is absence of bhai, then also I am aware of it. This bhai is not me. This bhaya is not mine. This bhaya belongs to the element of Akash. I am the observer of this bhaya, like an onlooker of the clay pot, who is distinct from it. In this manner, know that I am not bhaya and it is not mine.
So we had these 5, and they say, why do we need it? Say, why do we need to understand? Say, we need to understand this because this is something which is happening in your mind and body every day. Hence, when the shoka arises, know this is different, distinct, separate from you. So the shoka is not happening in you, but in the mind and in the body. Moha in mind, in body. Krodha in mind, in body. And moha, attachment, in mind and in the body. You will say, how? Your eyes saw a brownie with vanilla ice cream, topped with nuts, with the warm hot chocolate sauce on the top. Will saliva come in the mouth or not? So it is not that the moha happens in the mind only. It's going to make some very great hormonal changes in your system too. So you can either salivate or say suddenly if suddenly a cobra comes in front of you. The moment you see that, the earth element will rise. Why? Because the fear has come in the mind. Hence, you find it difficult even to run away from that place. So you're kind of tied to that place. So bhaya is happening, fear is happening in the mind, and yet it is changing the body, how it feels, how it reacts, how it responds, whether it will run or not, whether it will get salivation in the mouth, or whether the mouth dries up. When there is a fear, mouth dries up. Right? Have you experienced ever this kind of fear that the mouth dries up? Then go in a jungle and experience that. Or maybe go amidst these humans these days who are worse than animals. Right? When you see that behavior, when the fear gets born in the mind, that changes the structure of your, the functioning structure of your body. That suddenly your mouth has gone dry, your lips have gone dry, and you can't even walk because of the fear. And when the moha comes, then everywhere the jala, the water content rises. Now, this Akasha elements were basically given to us to understand that these are happening in the mind and in the body, and this body and mind is like a clay pot and I am separate from it, and I am the observer. So when the fear or any depression or anger comes in the mind and the body, know it. It's not still coming in you. You are just the observer, and you are as pure, as radiant, as untouched, as virgin as this external akasha is. The space is untouched. If the planets are there, it's fine. If all the planets die one day, the akasha will be still there. So the self, my true self, is like that, meaning it is the observer of all the akasha elements whenever they are active or when they are even not active. When the fear is there, you are the observer, and when there is no fear, you are the observer. When you deny, oh no, I don't have any fear, even then you are the observer. When your mind plays the game, oh no, I don't have any moha with anybody. It's a very commonly statement which I hear, but I don't believe the statements coming from these minds which are so prone and conditioned and inhabituated to be in attachment. So even when they say, no, I am not, but actually they are. But somehow they are not intelligent enough to see that. But even when the mind is filled with bhaya and anger and all these elements of the akasha, even if they are totally active, even then you remain untouched as an observer. So this observer is who? You. You are the observer.